So this video is going to be on a pretty serious matter, and it's something that is really bothering me lately, and it kind of came up even more so this morning when I was reading a post from a friend of mine on Facebook, and it's about the issue of this male-driven psychosis of slut-shaming, and it's really kind of a sick issue in our culture that we have right now. And I kind of want to delve into it and just kind of show basically how illogical this whole issue is, how none of this is based in logic, and how really the whole thing is based in either male insecurities or, well, basically just insecurities of both genders. How this is really just stems from a really unpleasant place, and none of it stems from anything that can be rationalized or defended. So I'm just going to start from a couple of things that you see really a lot to do with this issue. There's really two pronounced ways that you see this occur lately in our culture. And the first one has been going on for a long time, and you'll see it in a lot of YouTube videos, and you see it just in your day-to-day life. And this is where you hear guys talk about, oh, you know, she's such a slut, da-da-da-da-da, X, Y, and Z about her past, and kind of really bring down the value of a woman based off of her sexual past, or her, even a lot of times just her rumored past. It might not even be factual. So just starting from there, obviously that's an issue, but I'm not even going to get into the fact of whether it's factual, because that's giving credence to the idea that if it was factual, then somehow they would be in the right for saying this about her. So here's really the stem of the issue. So if you ask a guy, and I'm a guy, obviously, what is he looking for in a woman? What does he really want when he is single, or when he's looking for a possible mate? What most guys are going to tell you is they want somebody who is fun, who is adventurous, who talks to them, who has stories to tell, who's led a life, who's interesting, honest, funny, loving, caring, considerate, kind. These are the qualities that most men look for. But you also notice that if you, especially men, are going to tell you that one of the main categories that we look for is somebody who's good in bed. And that's something that men want. It's just a fact. Men look for women who can satisfy them, please them, are fun, adventurous. We don't like shy, timid women in the bedroom. I've yet to meet a man who's like, oh, I just love the fact that she won't give a blowjob. It's just my favorite thing about her, the fact that she's too shy to do it. You find me the conversation that two guys are having where that has been said, and I give up. I mean, honestly, if there's a guy anywhere who said that, you can go fuck yourself. So, with that being said, if this is what we want, where do you think she got good? Let that sink in for a second. Where do you think she got good at it? Now, I don't care. You can have all the natural, God-given ability in the world. Kobe Bryant still has to shoot 500 jump shots a day to play in the NBA. It's called practice. You have to do it. So, where do you think she got her practice? Now, I'm not saying you have to think about it. I'm not saying that you have to know the guys that she practiced with. You can have your little small insecurities. But let's not pretend for 1 second that you don't enjoy the results of her life. And by the way, it's not just in a sexual context that that's interesting to men. The girl who has traveled the world, who you find fascinating because she has all these stories about Argentina and backpacking Barcelona and the time that she hitchhiked from Italy to Prague, you know, that girl's fascinating, and guess what? We all want to date her. But guess what? There's also that story about the night that she went home with that really hot guy in Barcelona and Argentina, and that's just a fact. Because if she's that interesting, other men have found her interesting before you. Tough break. So, it's kind of the height of stupid male insecurity to have an issue with the exact same thing that we're attracted to. You know, it's like and so kind of the question that you have to ask yourself is, when you're about to say something, when you're about to speak negatively about somebody and their past, are you saying it because it's a clear and obvious case of them doing something fucked up? Or are you just saying it because other people are saying it? And are you just saying it because it's socially acceptable right now, unfortunately, to shame somebody for an action that you would partake in? So what I mean by that is, okay, if somebody cheats on their boyfriend with his best friend, has a kid with them, and then tells them it's his, that's messed up. There's no rationale for that not being fucked up. That's not usually what you're talking about. Usually what you're talking about is somebody who is said to have, X number of sexual partners, and therefore we hear, she's such a slut. Why? Why does that make you a slut? You don't know. You don't know the cases that led to that. You have no idea what her life's been like. You don't know if you would have made those same choices. And as men, since we very rarely say no to any opportunity we get, my guess is if you had had the reverse situation, you would have done more than she did. And I've heard this whole argument that men spout out about how women get it offered to them all the time, and so therefore they have to be more restrained and they have to make carefuler choices, because if they don't, they're just going... Yeah, shut up. I mean, really, it's just a boring argument. I mean, yeah, okay, it's true. Women get it offered more than men. They accept less than men, too. No matter who they are, they accept less than men. And why is that competition even an issue? Again, you're moving away from the real issue. Is she what you are looking for or not? You know what I mean? The number is irrelevant. The past is irrelevant. You don't build a past with someone. You build a future. That's a really important distinction to remember. You don't build your past together. You build your future. And chances are you have a past too. Not just her. So why do you care so much about hers? What is your insecurity? You're going to build a future together. And if her past made her into the awesome, amazing, interesting, fun person who rocks your world in the bedroom, why the fuck are you not thanking her for all those decisions she made? You get to reap the rewards of them for the next 50 years. You get to be with that awesome, amazing person if she's nice enough to be with you. And if you stopped being a slut-shaming asshole, you might have a chance. So think about it before you speak. The second way that this is expressed lately, a lot in our culture, is when a girl's nude pictures get leaked to the internet. And what you commonly see is a second and equally virulent form of slut-shaming, which is, well, if you don't take pictures like that, well, to start with, half of the people who are saying that have like jowls like this, and they're like, oh, I've never taken a naked picture. No one wants to see a naked picture of you. No one's ever asked. So shut up. First, just to start with. So if you're freaking Danny DeVito, yeah, I guess people aren't blowing you up for naked pictures on the regular. So who the fuck cares whether or not you've been asked? And I'm sorry, Danny DeVito isn't a slut shamer. I'm just using him as an example. Sorry, Danny. But the point being the same. So just to begin with, shut up if you're one of those people. Secondly, if you're a person who has been asked, chances are you've probably taken one. Because you've probably had a boyfriend who you gave a naked picture to. You probably had a girlfriend who you've given a naked picture to. You've texted it to. If you're in my generation, chances are there's at least 50 of your pictures on somebody's phone somewhere. Now, you'd like to believe those are going to stay private, which is why you're sitting on your high horse throwing stones at somebody else. You're like, yeah, well, your pictures are all over the internet, so I'm going to take this moment to be a dick. So, stop being a hypocrite, stop slut-shaming, get over yourself, be a better person.